Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, I am going to be doing the preview of the upcoming Super Rugby Aotearoa final between the Crusaders and the Chiefs. But if you do enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I do see we've got a few people already in the chat. I do thank you all very much for being here. We have got James Gordon, we have got Jacob Tickley, and also Andrew Harrington. Hope you guys are doing well and hope you are excited for this match that we are going to get to see tomorrow night. Less than 24 hours away, Crusaders versus Chiefs Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021 final. Should be a very exciting match. These two sides throughout the whole season, they've each won one. We've got Ivan in the chat as well. Has said, hi, welcome to the live stream, mate. But yeah, both of these sides each getting a win over the other. The first time that they played was round 3. The Crusaders were able to get the win 39-17. So quite a bit of a gap there between the two sides. But something that's a very interesting stat that I will mention a little bit later on as well is the fact that Will Jordan has scored in every single Super Rugby Aotearoa match between the Crusaders and the Chiefs. 4 from 4 at the moment he is. He will be hoping to make it 5 for this final and get his side some points. We have got James Gordon who said, I played basketball on Wednesday. How did you go? And were you able to get the win there? Was it for a competition or was it just playing? Do let me know. But yeah, a man who seems to be able to handle the pressure in these games is Will Jordan. Like anytime you look through the team sheet, he is right up there. But someone else who has a decent performance normally against the Chiefs is actually Richie Meyer, although the last time they played when the Chiefs were able to get the win 26-25, that game was at FMG Stadium. And yeah, it was a very close matchup. Damian McKenzie, the Clutch King, is the nickname that has been born from this season. 4 of the 5 victories in a row when the Chiefs were on that winning streak were from him getting last-minute tries or penalties. We've got a competition score. We smashed them as well, says James Gordon. So that is good news for yourself. And I will ask the question, what was the score in that one as well? But yeah, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. It is currently 9:10 p.m. here in New Zealand. I was going to start this a little bit earlier on, but yeah, just ended up getting a little bit too busy, unfortunately. So we are here now, though, and looking through the stats, there's one big thing that I noticed, and that is the fact that the first time these two sides played, round 3 of Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021, it was one of those games that the Chiefs started the match very well, and Damian McKenzie was able to score the try in the 2nd minute of the game. But then from there, unfortunately, when you look at the stats, the likes of meters carried 543 for the Crusaders compared to the 213 of the Chiefs. Defenders beaten 33 for the Crusaders, 6 for the Chiefs. Clean breaks 21 for the Crusaders. That almost has to be a high for the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition to the 1 of the Chiefs, and offloads 14-0 in that regard as well. We have got me and my dad. We're having a chat about this a lot today, says Liam as well. I do welcome you to the live stream. And yeah, what do you guys think the score is going to be in this matchup between these two sides? I think it should be a very exciting one. And yeah, hopefully we do get to see some very good rugby being played as well. I am going to quickly do something that I should have done a little bit earlier on. I am downloading these squads into my streaming software so that I can show you guys exactly who is going to be in those lineups. And there are a lot of changes for the Chiefs and also a big return for the Crusaders. That is, of course, Braden Enor, who will be playing his first match of the season. He will be coming off the bench. He will be hoping to have an impact as well for his side. And yeah, we will have to wait and see how he goes. But they have got 2 spare centres on the bench for the Crusaders, which is an interesting choice. Thought that they may have gone with a little bit more cover perhaps for a few of those other positions. But they have gone with the 2 spare centres, Braden Enor and also Dallas McLeod. So we will have to wait and see how that goes. We have also got Winners the Game from Devontae. It is going to be tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. kickoff for New Zealand time. And it is being played at FMG Stadium. Right, we are good to go. I have got the squads. I've dropped my pen as well. But we have also got everyone like up the video. Says Hope Go, and 27-7 or 27-4 was the score for James Gordon. But you did hear the man. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like on this live stream. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are going to be doing our watch-along live stream for the match tomorrow. And yeah, should be a very exciting matchup, that's for sure. Who are you cheering for? Luckily for me, I'm pretty impartial when it comes to these two sides. I have got a Chiefs kit because it was sent to me, but I am living closer to Canterbury. In fact, I am in Canterbury when it comes to where I am living. So maybe I should be going for the Crusaders here, but I feel like I'm going to be sitting impartially. But I've got a couple surprises for you guys on the live stream tomorrow. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Couple exciting ones that I think you guys are going to enjoy as far as I'm going to mention about it at this stage, because I'm going to try and keep it a secret, although I'm not very good at keeping them. So maybe it will slip out later on in this live stream. We've also got, we all know who is going to win. Chiefs, says Liam as well. And that's the thing. They were on a very good win streak. 5 in a row for them is extremely impressive. And of course, that was ended in the match against the Blues, unfortunately, because of the loss that was, I think they lost by 20 points in that one. But they were playing a completely different side in terms of their starting lineup than they are in this final. About 13 different changes for this match in this final, and I will be going through them very soon as well. What do you think of the Lion squad? There were a couple interesting names in there thrown in there, and I feel like the likes of Sam Simmons, no one really saw him getting selected because of the kind of history between Eddie Jones and Sam Simmons, of course, not getting selected for England, but he did get selected for the Lions tour, which was a big one, although I know quite a few good players did actually miss out in that Lions squad as well. The likes of, I know Richie was one name that was mentioned. Also, James Ryan did end up missing out for that one. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they will go in the Lions tour. That is going to be happening in only 1.5 months' time as well. Straight after Super Rugby Trans-Tasman is the warm-up match between the British and Irish Lions and Japan. And then the week after that, the Stormers versus the British and Irish Lions as well. We have also got, in the chat, we got Andrew has said, yeah, Chiefs going to dominate as well. And we have got in there, bloody pissing me off when Crusaders win Super Rugby, says Liam. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The Chiefs, they had the momentum. Yes, they lost that game, but like I said, a lot of changes. But then Crusaders at home, last time they played the Chiefs, 39-17. But that was before the winning streak actually started for the Chiefs. Like going 5 in a row, that is very impressive compared with the fact that they did lose about 10 games in a row leading up to that point. So, you know, at the moment, as Paulie B has said, #Chiefs mana, the mana is high at the moment for the Chiefs, and they are going to be working towards that Super Rugby Aotearoa title, because the last time they won a Super Rugby competition, I believe, was 2013. So maybe they are due to be able to get that win. But like I said, it's going to be Crusaders at home, and that is a daunting task for any side. We have also got in the chat, we have got, I was able to run from the hoop to the other hoop with the ball. I was fast, clutchy, got a lot of shots in the hoops as well. Said James Gordon, that was for the basketball game. We have also got in the chat, I think I missed one earlier on, which was to do with how long gone or something to do with the score. I think it was. I think you are going for Chiefs because of the kit, right? Said Jacob Tickley, so many Chiefs fans. Well, that's the thing. Believe it or not, I'm actually not going to be wearing the Chiefs kit tomorrow. And that was kind of part of the surprise as well of what we were going to be doing. But it does involve not actually wearing the Chiefs kit. I'll probably have it in the background. But yeah, we've got a couple plans for that final. Hopefully it will all run smoothly. Might have to test it a little bit later on in this live stream as well to see whether or not it will allow me to do what I am hoping that we can do for the final. We have also got how many points, mate, says Christopher. Unfortunately, yeah, we still have to wait that 24 hours till this match takes place. 7:05 p.m. kickoff tomorrow. But yeah, it's going to be, I feel like I'm not going to get much sleep tonight because we have got this match for Super Rugby Aotearoa, and also we got Super Rugby AU's final, Brumbies versus Reds. Reds at home there. Go Satyrs, says Christopher as well in the chat. And yeah, it's one of those ones that the lineup for the Crusaders is looking very strong. And the last time that the Chiefs were able to get the win over the Crusaders, they had a completely different 4-pack. In fact, I think they had Scott Barrett playing 6 in that match, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting contest, but we are going to be looking at the lineups very soon as well. What time did you end up going to bed after the live stream, said Hope Goat? We did finish that live stream at around about midnight, and then from there I did a couple hours of editing and preparing and whatnot. So I think I went to sleep at maybe around 4:30 in the end, probably a little bit late. It is fair to say. We have also got said I can't come to the stadium, says Jacob Tickley. And yeah, that's the thing. that stadium's surely going to be packed. I know that we're getting into winter here in New Zealand, so it'll be quite cold, but I feel like it's going to be sold out for this match. Crusaders wanting to get the win over the Chiefs, make up for the last time that they did lose to them, show that they are still that dominant side in Super Rugby Aotearoa, and that will give them a bit of momentum heading into Trans-Tasman as well if they were able to get that win. We have also got, did you move your stuff around? I did indeed. I have moved about a metre this way to the right because of the fact that now we have got the fire going, and I was a little bit too close, and I was worried that the monitor may end up heating up a little bit, so I decided that it would be a good idea to move over a little bit. But Kieran's still here with me, and he will be here for the final as well. But we have also got in there CRUSADERS, we have got in there Chiefs mana as well. We have got, I'm at Auckland, and we can't go to the stadium sadly, so we have to watch from our TV. I mean, that's not all bad though. The game is still going to be a very exciting one from anywhere you are watching. And then you've got Super Rugby AU starting 9:45 p.m. kickoff. That is going to be back-to-back games. And then you've got the South African Rainbow Cup. If you are interested in that as well, it's going to be the Sharks versus the Lions, and then the Stormers versus the Bulls. That game's at 5 a.m. Not sure whether I'll get up for that one or not. We got easy one for the Saders, mate, as well, says Christopher. Yeah, on paper, their squad is very good, or their lineup for this match is very good. But then the Chiefs, you know, everyone's talking about the Chiefs' mana and how much they want to win this one. And it's going to be in the situation of whether or not they can pull it off on the day. Because, of course, rugby, it's a game of 80 minutes. And if you get that 80 minutes right compared to your opponent, you got a chance of beating anyone. We saw it in the Tri-Nations, Argentina pulling off the upset, beating the All Blacks for the first time. Australia also beating the All Blacks, I believe, or drawing with them as well. So, you know, anything can happen. But the Crusaders, it's hard not to back them from here. I know they are the favourite in terms of the betting odds by quite a bit. And the most likely, I believe, was them to win by 13 or more points as well. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. Going to be mean at the stadium with all the other Chief boys there as well. Said Andrew, whereabouts are you sitting? We might even see you on TV if you're lucky. We've got Jinky Lee. I said I want the Chiefs to win because they deserve it. They have played a very good season so far, the Chiefs. But yeah, at the moment, the Crusaders, they want to prove that they are the best. And of course, to beat the best or to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that is what the Chiefs are going to be hoping to do. In the first round of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, the Crusaders, they don't get let off lightly. They are going to be facing the Brumbies next week. They are going to be facing the Reds after that. And the first week, I believe it is Chiefs versus Western Force. And that is going to be about an 11:55 p.m. kickoff New Zealand time. That is next Saturday night as well. We have got Crusaders are winning, says Josh Savage. We have got, but Crusaders have a high chance of winning as well, says Jinky Lee. And Crusaders will clean up from Maxi. You've played for the Crusaders, Maxi, so of course you will have that insider knowledge, and you will know when it comes to finals rugby, Crusaders are a hard side not to get behind to be able to get the win, because they, you know, the lineup that they've got, Cody Taylor, I should say, is the leading try scorer of this competition. He's got 7 tries, and he's the number 2 for the Crusaders. Then you've also got the likes of Richie Mo'unga, the Mo'unga Magic, if he can get it right. Very dangerous man. Will Jordan in the number 15 jersey. That man is in phenomenal form, and it's going to be very hard to stop him. They're going to have to shut them down early. The Chiefs, I almost think, have to score the first try in this match if they want a chance. They got to do what they did last time at OrangeTheory Stadium. They've got to come out fast. Damian McKenzie scoring that try in the second minute. That is probably their best option. As soon as you give the Crusaders too much time, they will just start to, they can dominate a game very easily. We have also got, of course, Crusaders will win from Christopher. The chat is going quick as well. I do thank you all very much for tuning in. And if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. As a staunch Hurricanes fan, I'll be going for the Chiefs as well, says Isaac. And we have got, are you sure about that? D-Mac is one of the best players. I don't know who to vote as well, says Jacob Tickley. And we have got, you look like Stephen Adams with that hair tie. Yeah, at the moment, my hair's in that in-between stage. I don't know whether to chop it off or let it keep on growing. So I kind of try and hide it, but anytime I turn my head sideways, you guys do get to see it as well. I'm going to go for the Chiefs, or going to go with Chiefs, says James Gordon. I am ball boy for the Crusaders versus Reds at Suncorp, says Hope Goat. So that is pretty awesome that you will be able to have a chance to run out onto the field there. Or no, ball boy, you might be on the sideline actually, but you will still be very close to the action. We have got, if the Chiefs get the lineouts right, they have a fairly good chance as well, says Andrew. Yeah, the Crusaders extremely strong in the lineout and also the rolling maul. They've got to find a way of shutting that down, the Chiefs, because they are just one of those sides. I mean, I said it, Cody Taylor, leading try scorer, someone else who's right up there, Brodie McAllister, he's coming off the bench and he has scored a few off the rolling maul as well throughout this season. And I mean, in the number 2 jersey for the Chiefs, though, they haven't got someone who's terrible. Of course, it's Samisoni Taukei'aho. He's had a fantastic season for them. And I think he has probably almost had the most running meters out of a forward for the Chiefs. He kind of, against the Crusaders as well, he made 43 meters the last time these two sides played, which is pretty high for a front rower. And, yeah, endurance is going to be a big factor in this game as well. We have got, they will smash the Chiefs, go Crusaders as well, says George. And we have got, wait, so if the Chiefs win the final and the Brumbies win the final, this is, e.g., do Chiefs and Brumbies versus each other? No. The Super Rugby Aotearoa and Super Rugby AU competitions are kind of split at this stage. So the winner of Super Rugby Aotearoa will be the winner of that competition. The winner of Super Rugby AU is the winner of that competition. And then Super Rugby Trans-Tasman starts up the next week. And then there will be a final after everyone plays everyone once. So that is a 5-week competition, how all the New Zealand sides will play the Australian sides. And then, yeah, it will be a final. And that could actually be 2 Australian sides or 2 New Zealand sides in that final. It isn't going to be one from each. Or it could be, of course, maybe Crusaders Reds or something along those lines. We have also got in the chat, Max here said, yeah, finals rugby and test rugby is like a whole different game. Yeah. And I feel like that's when like the pressure is at its most. But that's when the Crusaders kind of thrive as well. They are one of those sides that everyone loves to back the side against them, but like that quality in their side, I am going to bring up their lineup right now, and we are going to have a quick look through it. The Crusaders versus Chiefs lineup. First of all, the front row, George Bower coming in, of course, for that injury of Joe Moody a few weeks ago. Cody Taylor in the number 2 jersey, and then you've got Michael Taua in number 3. Very good front row, and it's going to be interesting in the scrums as well. Then you've got the wildly experienced Scott Barrett and Sam Whitelock. 2 of those guys that I feel like you really want to have as your lock pairing against a younger lock pairing, and also a bit of a position change for the Chiefs, but I will get to that in a short moment. Then the loose forwards, Ethan Blackadder, tackling machine throughout the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. Cullen Grace at number 8 and Sione Avili on the other side. Very dangerous man with ball in hand as well. Then you got Mitch Drummond at number 9, who has been pretty good throughout this season for the Crusaders. Richie Moya at number 10. If he can have a great game, I feel like the Crusaders would be winning this match pretty easily, because he is one of those players, if he can turn it up to that next level like he did in the first match, I believe it was against the Chiefs. Yes, it was. He had 101 meters carried, 11 defenders beaten. Very hard man to stop. Then the centers are going to be made up of David Avili, who's playing phenomenally lately, and Lester Whainānuku also playing it very well. The wings are going to be made up of George Bridge on one side, Sever Reese on the other, and then Will Jordan at the back, almost leading try scorer. But of course, Cody Taylor has got that honour at the moment. But then we look at the Chiefs lineup, and it is going to be a man covered. The man covered in the number 3 jersey is Angus Tarval. Then we have got Aiden Ross at number 1. Samisoni Taukei'aho is going to be in that number 2 jersey. I will move my microphone just a little bit because I can't actually see the chat right. We have got it here. And we have also got the Chiefs probably lost badly last year as well, says Jacob Tigley. And we have got Chiefs counter-attacking will win the game, says Andrew. And we have got D-Max should start at 10 and Chase Tiatia should be at 15, says Isaac. And yeah, that's one of those things. Chase Tiatia, he is on the bench. They have ditched Sean Wainu. He knows Sean Stevenson got rid of all the Seans in this one. And they've also got Rameka Poihipi is going to be the man in the number 22 jersey. And there is also, it will be Zane Capelli. I mean, they are rewarding players who played very well in their matchup against the Blues, and they have rewarded them with starting positions, bench positions in this match as well. But then continuing through this lineup, Tupavai at number 4, and then you've got Mitchell Brown, who's normally playing 6, but they have moved Peter Gus Sowakula into the number 6 jersey. Boshier, very good in a breakdown, turning over the ball at 7. Luke Jacobson is back from his concussion. He is going to be at 8 for this one. Then you got Brad Weber, Cool Calm Head at number 9. Brent Gatlin, number 10. He can be a little bit 50-50, but if he can have a good game, dangerous, a centre pairing that I feel is very good. And I feel like it will be able to cause a little bit of damage to those Crusaders' backs because of the fact David Arveli and Lester Fainganuku against Alex Nankervel and also Anton Leonard-Brown, they're all going to be running hard with that ball. Like, there are going to be a lot of big collisions in that midfield. Then you've got Etena Nana Satoro, a man who can beat defenders for days if he has to. Then you've got Jonah Lowe on his other side. And then D-Mac, as people call him, the Clutch King as well. Damian McKenzie at number 15 for this one. So that is the starting lineup and reserves. Or sorry, I haven't got to the reserves yet. Those are the starting lineups for these two sides. We have also got, I got to go see you. See you later, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. We have also got Damien is way better at fullback than he is at fly half from Jacob Tigley. And we have got Richie Moanga will get a hat trick, says George, as well. They were smashed. Yeah. I mean, if he can turn it up to that level that he did the last time these two sides played, 11 defenders beaten, you're more than likely getting over the try line for yourself. Although, in that last match, he didn't actually manage to against the Chiefs. In the two matches against the Crusaders, against the Chiefs, I'm having a shocker. I'm too excited for this one. Lester Fainganuku was able to score in both of them, and also Will Jordan was able to score in both of them. So it's one of those ones that maybe, you know, those backs for the Crusaders, they can score quite a few tries. And Cody Taylor rounding that off with the rolling maul is going to be a sight to see. We have got Super Rugby Aotearoa is better than AU, says Jacob Tigley. And we will have to wait and see as well to see who is the superior Super Rugby when we do get to see Trans-Tasman. That is going to be kicking off the week after the final. So actually, now that I think about it, 9:30 on Friday night, next week, we would be at the end of the first match, which is going to be the Highlanders versus the Reds. And then the match after that is the Blues versus the Rebels, maybe. I could be wrong in that regard, though. And we have also got what happened to Goodhue. He did end up getting injured. Unfortunately, I think it was what ended up happening to Goodhue? I know he was injured in the same game as Joe Moody. I think it was a foot or a leg or something. I think he was limping as well. Unfortunately for him, which means he will be missing this one. We have got Richie Moanga, Sever Reese, and George Bridge goated as well, says George Wakeman. Yeah, they are very talented players, and I feel like the wingers in these two matches are going to end up having a lot of the ball. I think both sides are going to be just trying to use their backline, trying to find those gaps, because in finals rugby, it's about taking those opportunities, and if you can take them, you will be rewarded with points. I feel like there will be a lot of kicking as well, in terms of not just going for the 3-pointers, which I feel like they will in this match, but then also perhaps a little bit of territory, trying to make sure that the other team is the one who's got the ball inside their 22 and try and make them make a mistake. We have got later cuts, says Andrew. We will see you later, mate. Maybe we will see you at the live stream tomorrow that we will be doing of this match. Our usual watch-along live stream. We have got Jack Goodhue, had a leg injury and ACL as well, says Hope Goat. Yeah, so he's unfortunately going to be missing Trans-Tasman as well. And we have also got Jason in the chat has said, hi, welcome to the live stream, mate. And we have got, I think he got injured with Moody in Hurricanes versus Crusaders. He's a good player, says Jacob Tigley. He is indeed. And someone who was filling in that number 12 jersey very nicely, or I guess they kind of had a little bit of a reshuffle, but David Arveli is playing some of his best rugby at the moment. They were saying he didn't really have a chance of being selected at fullback for the All Blacks, but the way he's playing, number 12, could well and truly end up being in the position that he can get himself into. Lester Fainganuku at the midfield for the Crusaders as well as the Chiefs is very good in this match. And we have also got, who would have thought no wins last year, possible champs this year. What a turnaround, Chiefs, says Cool As. Yeah, phenomenal season that they have had so far. And I'm hoping this match is going to be close between these two sides. The last thing we want is for the Crusaders to end up just finding that form early on and running away with it. I feel like everyone wants to see a very close matchup just because of the fact that it is Super Rugby Aotearoa's final. The most eyes are going to be on this one out of all of the matches so far this season. So they want to make sure it's a good one. And I feel like that's what we are going to get. Fainganuku, what a player. Did y'all see his first try in round 3? That was against the Chiefs as well. And that was the one that he somehow, I still don't know how he did it. He somehow kind of went over the try line as well as kind of over the touch line foot almost touching the grass. That's still a bit of controversy whether or not it did touch. But then he was able to get the ball down. I can't even reposition my body to replicate what he was able to do at that time. But it was a very impressive one. And we've got to mention as well, the last time these two sides played at OrangeTheory Stadium, a yellow card to Brad Weber, that was actually off the captain's challenge of the Chiefs because of the fact that there was also that little bit of controversy around whether or not Brad Weber was touching the ball in Richie Mo'unga's hand. We have got that should be the first best try in 2021, said Jacob Tigley as well. And we have got Lowell, who thinks Chiefs going to win it for me as well, or who thinks Chiefs are going to win it me as well, says Penny Isaac. And Salisi Rayasi should be an All Black. He is a talented winger, Salisi Rayasi. Is he going to Sevens? Because I know I heard Caleb Clark has made the transfer into the Sevens kind of market. So I think he might be trying to go to Tokyo, if I'm not wrong, for the Sevens Championship. So we will have to wait and see which players are going to be changing from 15s to league, because I know Sevens is very good in terms of your cardio side. A lot of players have said it was the best decision that they have made to be able to play Sevens and then make their way back into the 15 sides. But we will look at the benches quickly as well while we have got them up. We have got the likes of the Crusaders. They have got a very strong forward replacement on there, and pretty much all of those players: Brody McAllister, Tamati Williams, also Ollie Yeager, Mitchell Dunshay, Tom Sanders. It's going to be a very interesting situation to see what time these guys are going to be going to those benches. And we have also got Bryn Hall, Dallas McLeod, and the returning Braden Enor, who will be hoping to have an impact in this one as well. Then for the Chiefs, you've got Bradley Slater, Ollie Norris, and Sione Mafaleo. Nata Akoya is actually starting on the bench for this one. He has been playing very well throughout the season, but maybe they decided that maybe late in this match could be the key for him, because they have put Mitchell Brown at 5, which was an interesting choice with the fact that he hasn't really played there throughout this season. We have also got Jacob Tigley. I will go now. Bye, everyone. We will see you later, mate. Hope to see you tomorrow for the live final that we are going to be doing as well. The lad, hey, brother, from Jesse Was an Outlaw. Welcome to the live stream as well, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm hoping my microphone isn't too loud. I feel like I'm yelling, but that is because I get too excited about these matches for Super Rugby. And I feel like we've been very spoiled throughout this season. Like the fact that we have been able to see all of the games take place, none have been cancelled. Hopefully Super Rugby Trans-Tasman will still be able to go ahead as well, because if we do get to see all of them as well, there are going to be some very good games. Crusaders Reds second week, Crusaders Brumbies first week. Western Force versus Chiefs is going to be a little bit of a sleeper match, I think, in terms of people aren't expecting much of it, but I think it's going to be one of the best matches between the sides. Go the Chiefs as well, says Jesse Was an Outlaw. And we have got Rayasi is not playing for the Sevens this year as well, says Jason. I'm leaning towards the Chiefs for this game, said Mr. Drifty. And yeah, I think a lot of people are backing the Chiefs as the underdog here. They are one of those sides that, from what they have been able to do in the past few weeks, like, yes, the match against the Blues didn't go their way, but they were playing a side pretty much completely made up of players who aren't in the starting lineup for this match. They were resting the likes of McKenzie, Leonard Brown, Nanai Satoro. They were also resting Brad Weber, Boshier, Luke Jacobson, Sowakula. He played well in that match, and that is why he is in that number 6 jersey for this one as well. But then looking through the rest of the reserves, Zane Capelli, a man who played well last week, getting rewarded with a spot on the bench for this one. Then you've got Teiteroa Tahuria Rangi, a talented player as well, and he will be hoping to have a late impact. Rameka Poihipi and Chase Tiatia are the spare backs for this one. And I keep saying it, but talented players all around in this one. They might have a comeback as well, says Mr. Drifty. And that's the thing, the Crusaders, in the back of their mind, if it gets into those later minutes, 70 plus, and they start to think, right, boys, we've only got a couple-point lead, Damian McKenzie will be smiling all the way to the bank there, because he has been phenomenal under pressure throughout the season. But then I see in the chat, Will Jordan should score a try, and he has every other time these two sides have played for Super Rugby Aotearoa, 4 from 4 matches. In fact, he might even be 5 from 4 matches against the Chiefs, and he just loves to score against them, and he will be hoping to do that in this finals matchup as well. But he's just one of those players, Will Jordan, like that try against the Blues. He makes something out of nothing. He just steps around finds the gaps, says thank you very much. I'll take a try. And I feel like it's hard to stop him. You know, if he finds a little bit of form, he is gone and he is going to be making a lot of meters. The last time the Chiefs played the Crusaders, even though the Crusaders lost by 1 point, Will Jordan made 157 meters. So that kind of speaks for itself. But then the tackles in that game, when you look back at the first time the Crusaders played the Chiefs at OrangeTheory Stadium, Sam Cane made 20 tackles. Tupaia made 17. Those two players are both injured and they aren't going to be there for this final. I mean, they'll be at the ground, of course, but they won't be on the field. So that is a big shame for the Chiefs. But the big question is, will these young players who have been added in, will they be able to get the job done at OrangeTheory Stadium? We have got hope no one does, Jonah Lomu as well said Mr. Drifty. And we have also got It Is Risky playing Enor in the final when it's his first game back from injury, said Hope Goat. Yeah, was an interesting choice when I read it because of the fact that, I mean, they have got decent other players that they could have been playing. Perhaps they go with the spare number 10, Fergus Burke, could have been an option just to give Richie Moanga a bit of cover. But they have gone with Braden Enor, which hopefully the last thing you want to see is that he comes out onto the field with this kind of technical, physical Chiefs side and end up getting some sort of injury again, because then he will be missing Trans-Tasman. Like, there are still plenty of matches to be played throughout this season. Not in Super Rugby Aotearoa, of course, the final, but then next week we go straight into Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, and it's going to be some exciting stuff. If the Chiefs play clinical, get the basics right, it will be a tough game, says Jesse was an outlaw. Yeah, like I mentioned, the odds have the Crusaders winning this by 13 plus. That is the big prediction that everyone is making. And it's the case of it could come true, but it also, the Chiefs, they are a strong side. And I feel like they will be trying to fight in that final. Josh Mackay should be on the 13 jersey as well, says Jason. I mean, that's one player who we saw very early in the season, Josh Mackay, and then we haven't really seen him since. And I don't know what happened. Is he injured? Because we saw him in preseason and he looked decent. But other than that, we haven't really got to see him too much. Burnt Toast has said, what team do you support? I am very lucky in regards of I'm pretty impartial in terms of which Super Rugby Aotearoa New Zealand side I support, just purely because of the fact that I just love watching all of the teams play. And I'm closest to Canterbury in location, so for the Crusaders, but then I'm also kind of close to the Highlanders for where I live. And then I've got a Chiefs kit because one of you guys sent it to me. So I'm pretty much split anyway. Like, in this final, it's going to be exciting stuff because I'm going to get to watch it from pretty much a completely impartial view. And we've got a couple of surprises for that live stream tomorrow, like I mentioned a little bit earlier on. I won't spoil too much, but there may be possibly a guest involved at some stage. Sean Stevenson has a great boot as well, said Jason. And yeah, he's a player who has been left out of the starting lineup and reserves of the Chiefs in this one. But for anyone who is just tuning in now, the game is going to be taking place 7:05 p.m. tomorrow night. I am doing my live preview tonight just to kind of, get all of the information out there about these two sides and who I think is going to be winning it. Unfortunately, though, I haven't been able to decide who I think is going to be winning it yet. So I feel like that is something I need to work on before the end of this live stream. But yeah, I did ask the question on my lineups video, who do you guys think is going to be scoring the first try in this final? I saw that someone said Scott Barrett to score the last try, or I think it was actually him to score the first try. So who do you guys think is going to be the player who is able to get the first try? The first time these two sides played for Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021, Damien McKenzie scoring in the second minute. And then in the next game that they played, I believe it was Leicester Whainā-Nuku who was able to pick up the first try. Also Cody Taylor with the rolling maul. Are the Crusaders going to take on the 3 points, or are they going to be going for the full 7? Good to see Enor back as well, said Jesse was an outlaw. Yeah, it is very good to see some of these players coming back from injury because of the fact this Super Rugby Aotearoa competition, we've had too many, unfortunately. Like, you look at even just the Chiefs in general, like they've lost Tupaia, they've lost Sam Cane, they've lost, who else have they lost? They've got a list of about 10 players, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And of course, off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Also, Luke Jacobson was out, but he is back. They had Liam Messam off the bench in the last match up against the Blues, but he is not actually making an appearance in the final. They've gone with Zane Capelli, the youngster, who did have a good impact. Is he young, Zane Capelli? I feel like he might be older than I think, but he was able to have a good impact in that last match against the Blues, so he was rewarded with a spot. We have got Will Jordan will score the first try, says Jason as well. And also we have got Chiefs lost Sean Wainui. They did indeed. Is he injured? Jason, do let me know. I know he was captain for the last match. And yeah, that is something that the Chiefs have got. They've got that Chiefs mana that everyone speaks of. Everyone, other than Crusaders supporters, of course, are hoping that they will be able to pull off the upset. And we will have to wait and see if that is the case. Lol, the ticket is finished because it's the finals, says Pino Isaac. Yeah, I thought it would have sold out pretty quick because of the Super Rugby Aotearoa final. And also Super Rugby Trans-Tasman starting up next week. So it's going to be one of those ones that hopefully those games are all sold out. People show the support because those are going to be some good games as well. How long has it been since we've gotten to see New Zealand versus Australia in Super Rugby? I think it was at the start of last year or so. Is it last year? Maybe. I think it was somewhere around there. And then, of course, we had the development of Super Rugby Aotearoa and Super Rugby AU. We've got in the chat, Viniola, hopefully I've said that right, has said, who win please. It is going to be the game tomorrow night. At this stage, we are just doing the preview of it. The Chiefs versus Crusaders, OrangeTheory Stadium. It is going to be 7:05 p.m. kickoff. So at this stage, we are about 22 and a half hours away from kickoff. And it is counting down pretty quickly. I'll probably end up just watching rugby pretty much all night. I feel like I've got a lot of editing I should be doing, but I'm in this rugby mood at the moment. I just keep on talking about it because I feel like this match tomorrow is going to be, it's just going to be one of those matches. You can feel how much it means to the players. Like the Chiefs, they wouldn't have expected to be in that final looking at how the last season went. But they fought hard, 5 in a row, worked their way into that final, and now they've got a chance of pulling off the ultimate upset and becoming Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021 champions. We've also got, probably Will Jordan for the first try, said Jesse, and also we got Sean Wainui injured and Quintabaya and Sam Cane, says Jason. Yes, so too many players are ending up getting injured, and that's the thing. These two sides, like New Zealand sides, just go out each week and play hard physical rugby and just keep on ending up injuring each other. Like the Highlanders this season, they've had more than 10 as well. Like they've just recently lost Josh Ioane, I believe. I'm not sure how long that's going to be for, but season-ending injuries for Lau Fakatava, Adi Savia for the Hurricanes. Crusaders, you've lost Goodhue, Moody. Like the list just goes on with all of these players who have unfortunately succumbed to injuries. And hopefully there aren't too many, or if any, hopefully none in this match tomorrow that we are going to get to see. And we have got me again. I thought it was on right now. Sorry about that, Mike. Didn't know what day it was on. Yeah, it is going to be tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. And the Super Rugby AU match is going to be starting at 9:45 p.m. So pretty much straight after. I am hoping, in fact, once it ticks over one more minute, it will be 24 hours exactly from when Super Rugby Aotearoa would have been about half an hour finished, and Super Rugby AU will just be about kicking off. It's going to be exciting stuff. But yeah, looking at the meters carried in that last match that these two sides played, it was at FMG Stadium. The Chiefs were able to get that win 26-25. And in the end, they did have about 70 more carries in that match. Defenders beat them 39-13. They pretty much did a role reversal of the last time these two sides played for Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021. Leonard Brown having the most running meters for the Chiefs with 78, but Will Jordan, of course, having 157 meters for the Crusaders. Nato Akoi making the most tackles with 2 turnovers. That was 12 tackles. But unfortunately for him, he is starting on the bench for this match. We have also got Let's Go Crusaders, the Mighty Satyrs, as well. Says Izzy, go on mullet, bro. Says Izzy, don't know whether I will. I feel like I'm still growing out the hair because I don't really know what to do with it, but I don't think a mullet will be involved yet. We'll wait and see. But we have got a couple of surprises for the live stream tomorrow, and I haven't mentioned too many of them yet, but it will involve something to do with perhaps a guest at some stage, and also a couple little graphics and animations and whatnot, hopefully making the live stream a little bit more entertaining for you guys as well. We have got what will the point and who will win, says Pino Isaac. I suck when it comes to the score predictions. I'll be honest. I always seem to get them wrong. I'm looking at the last match the Crusaders played against the Blues. They played well, 29 points to 6. And then the Blues side, they played the Chiefs, but it wasn't really completely the Chiefs lineup. Only about 2 players from the week before, 39 to 19. Chiefs Mana versus the Crusaders at home. Oh, I don't know. I might turn it around and ask you guys what you think the score prediction is going to be. We have also got all the best Chiefs as well from Eska Roy. And I'll be here tomorrow, says Izzy. Do appreciate that, mate. And yeah, hopefully it will all run smoothly. I know my Wi-Fi has been trying to play up a little bit over the last couple of weeks. But most of the time, when it is time to live stream, it does seem to survive. And hopefully that will be the case tomorrow. We've got 4 live streams back-to-back, I believe. If I'm not wrong, or pretty much back-to-back. Will be Super Rugby Super Rugby Aotearoa at 7:05. Then at 9:45-ish, it will be Super Rugby AU. Then we move into the Rainbow Cup. It will be the Lions versus the Sharks, I believe. That is going to be at 2 a.m., I think. And then 5 a.m. would be the Bulls versus the, not Stormers. The Bulls versus, who are the Bulls playing? The Bulls versus, who's the other team? I feel like I've had a shock here. I think it is Stormers, actually, that they will be playing. And we have got a few predictions in the chat as well. Are you showing the match, says Fan George. Unfortunately, due to copyright, I'm not actually allowed to show any match footage. But I do have my scoreboard for the real live streams that we will be doing tomorrow. And also, we pretty much just talk about the game with a bit of commentary and whatnot. So, yeah, I wish I was able to show the game. But due to copyright, if I was to show even a clip, the stream just gets taken down and we get banned for 3 months, I believe it is. So it is a pretty risky business. And we have also got 28-19 to the Crusaders from Nick. And Josh has said 21-7 to the Crusaders. And then we have got Go Chiefs Go from Raymond Ram. Mitch Carpick's injured. And Simon Parker said Jason as well. Yeah, that's the thing. A few players, they were due to transfer. The likes of Simon Hickey's one that I feel like was a pretty unfortunate injury because he had moved to the Hurricanes and he was going to be kind of filling in that number 10 role quite nicely, but then ended up with a season-ending injury. And then Jackson Garner-Bishop is also injured, which has led to the likes of Ledger and Ruben Love getting a chance, and he's been very talented throughout this season as well. We have got Penny Isaac has said, I think Chiefs will win, and the point will be 28, and Crusaders will have 17. Okay, so switching that other one around a little bit, but with the Chiefs getting a big win, I don't think when I looked at the betting odds and whatnot, I think for the Chiefs to be able to do that was paying a lot. So maybe if you are confident, that would be the way to go. We have got Go Chiefs, big fan here for the Chiefs, says Penny Isaac, and also Go Crusaders from Ewan. And is Simon Hickey playing Trans-Tasman? Not sure yet. I feel like there's a lot of injuries at the moment that some of them are going through to Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, but some of them, the likes of Braden Enor, who had the season-ending injury, and George Bridge also kind of making the return in the last few weeks, and Braden Enor having his first match up against the Chiefs in a final as well, coming off the bench. A lot of pressure, but maybe he will be able to handle it as well. But something I am going to quickly do is going to be looking through some of the stats as well when it comes to the competition, looking at the likes of the leading try scorers. We've got the likes of Cody Taylor on 7, Jonah Nariki on 5, then Sever Reese and Will Jordan both sitting on 4. So if they got a hat trick, they would only just catch Cody Taylor, and that just shows, it just shows how well Cody Taylor has been playing throughout this season, with the fact that a hat trick for Will Jordan and a hat trick for Sever Reese wouldn't mean they were the leading try scorer. What's your thoughts for the AB's 15 jersey, says Sam Coles? All I'm going to say is I am glad I'm not one of those fellas who has to try and select it, because, I mean, the form that some of these 15s have, you've got Geordie Barrett, you've got Will Jordan, Damian McKenzie, and then you've also got, I know Bowden Barrett wants to come back to the 10 jersey, which I feel like is kind of helpful for those guys in the fullback role because, yeah, there's just some very talented number 15s in the country. And each of them kind of play for a different team as well, which is why Super Rugby Aotearoa, we're stacked when it comes to talent in terms of, that All Blacks number 15 jersey. And it's that right wing position, number 14, I think is going to be a little bit more interesting. Is the likes of Geordie Barrett or maybe Will Jordan going to try and slot into that 14 role? Because I know Will Jordan has played wing in the past and normally is pretty successful out there. So it's one of those ones, is he going to make the transition to be able to fit into the team? Kind of like what David Havili did, because of the fact that he was going to be going for that number 15 jersey, but just because of the talent, he decided to switch into number 12. And from there, I mean, he's almost got one hand already on that All Blacks number 12 jersey, but the likes of Lau Mape also in the running for that. You've got Anton Leonard-Brown, who probably would prefer to play 13, but then you've got Goodhue, who is unfortunately out with the ACL. So that makes it slightly easier for the selectors. But, I mean, there's still a lot of people in the running, that is for sure. I think I'm actually sitting very low. I've just seen myself, and I feel like I'm kind of way too low in terms of the location of the camera. Hopefully that's not going to be too bad. I feel like I should have done that before I started the live stream. We have also got, is Damian McKenzie playing on the final? If he play, I think the Chiefs are going to win. He is indeed. He is in the number 15 jersey rather than the 10 jersey that he was in the last time the Chiefs played the Crusaders, which was round 8 of the competition. But yeah, he's in number 15. And they have also got Chase Teatio on the bench, who is a very talented player as well. Yes, D-Mac is 15, says Nov Mum. And we have also got Jason Estes, Salisa Ayasi, or Whaiana Anuku would be in the number 11 jersey when some wings would get injured for the All Blacks as well, says Jason. Yeah, the likes of George Bridge, I know he's starting to work his way back into that kind of contention, because he had a shocker the first week he played for the Crusaders back from injury, which was a little bit understandable because of the fact that he hadn't played for about 9 months. But, yeah, it will be the case of, I think he's slowly working his way back in there as well. Geordie Barrett can play 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, says Jason as well. And we have also got Escaroy. I said, do you know when will the Super Rugby games be allowed to be aired on TV? Says Escaroy. What country are you in, mate, as well? Because I feel like that may affect it, because I know Rugby Pass is kind of the go-to for anyone outside of kind of New Zealand and Australia. Australia's Stan Sports, and New Zealand's kind of Sky, I believe, is the only provider, which is actually what I watch it on in that regard. But yeah, it does depend on the country. But I know that Super Rugby AU is actually free to watch on the World Rugby website. If I'm not wrong, if you are outside of countries who have a provider, such as if you were in Australia, you wouldn't be able to watch it on that because of the fact that Stan Sports is an option kind of thing. So other than that, though, it is rather tough. And I feel like it would be cool if we were able to show kind of like footage. But yeah, straight away, they just take you down for copyright. But yeah, looking at the try scorers, it was Cody Taylor. The most carries so far throughout the season is Shannon Frizzell with 96. And I feel like unless Lester Whainauku is going to have 20 or 19 carries, it's going to be one of those ones that I think he's going to stay in first for that clean break. So Brad Weber, number 1 with 11, and then Will Jordan with 10. So it's going to be close between those two as well. McKenzie versus the Crusaders, says Raymond Ram. I did actually see a post that was talking about the dictionary, and then it was like rugby is a game where you play for 78 minutes and then get beaten by Damian McKenzie, because he has been one of those like weapons in the last few minutes for the for the Chiefs throughout the season. I think it's 4 from 5 of the wins in a row. Damian McKenzie had something to do with it in terms of whether he was kicking in the last minute or scoring the try in the match against Fiji. I read Fiji against the Blues, I should say. We have got, we can watch from Fiji because it is on Sky, says Penny Isaac as well. But yeah, I'm hoping Super Rugby Trans-Tasman will have plenty of providers in all sorts of countries around the world as well, so that we can get more people being able to watch the game. But yeah, I do appreciate all of you who do tune in to the, what was I going to say? I've forgotten straight away. I do appreciate all of you guys who are tuning in for the live streams that I have done throughout the season. We've had a lot of viewers, a lot of new subscribers, and yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying them as well. Please, everyone, only support the Chiefs mana, not the Satyrs power as well, said Mike Roberts. And yeah, the Chiefs mana, it is at an all-time high, I feel like everyone kind of shunts off the last week's game against the Blues purely because completely different Chiefs side, and also like the Crusaders had the rest week, so that's kind of what the Chiefs were working on as well, so that everyone is fresh heading into this final. And we have got Brad will need to play a good game to help Anton and D-Mac, says Hope Goat. Yeah, if Brad Weber can get us passing good, Early on in this match, also, we did see there clean breaks. He has had the most in Super Rugby Aotearoa. If he can get that right, get the quick ball into the hands of Bryn Gatlin. He likes to kick Bryn Gatlin, which I feel like it's almost a blessing and a curse for the Chiefs in this regard, because of the fact that I feel like it's one of those ones. If he ends up kicking the ball away and it goes into Will Jordan's hands, there's danger for the Chiefs. They're going to have to defend very well to be able to stop that man, Will Jordan. Like I said, 4 matches against the Chiefs for Super Rugby Aotearoa, 4 tries for Will Jordan, 1 in every match we ever got. Hey, mate, from Why Not Rugby, welcome to the live stream, Milo. I do appreciate you being here. And yeah, hopefully you guys are all excited for the match that is going to be taking place tomorrow. I'm not just going to be doing the Super Rugby Aotearoa live stream. I'm also going to do the Super Rugby AU final, and that is going to be taking place just after the Super Rugby Aotearoa one finishes. So we will be doing our usual watch-along live streams for both, and also a review in between, just to throw that in there as well. Penny Isaac has said, bro, because Chiefs lost the Blues because Damian McKenzie was not playing, as well, says Penny Isaac. And of course, they also didn't have the likes of Anton Leonard-Brown, Ateno Nana Satoro, Brad Weber, Lachlan Boshier. They didn't have Tupavai, Tarval, Takiaho. They had a lot of players that they were resting in that match. So it was almost a completely different Chiefs side. And I feel like it's a good thing because of the fact that we got to see the likes of Tom Florence. He played phenomenally in that game against the Blues. Also, Zane Capelli, who's now on the bench for the Chiefs in this match, above Liam Messam. Of all people, he has worked his way into the squad instead of, we have got Don't Kick It to Will Jordan, Lowell says Novmum as well. Yeah, you can't get away with that. I feel like it's one of those ones that the kicking game of the Crusaders overall, Richie Mo'unga finding touch with the ball is pretty likely if you do kick it into the 22. Also, Will Jordan, he's not afraid to well and truly run at the line. Like we do see here, defenders beaten. He's sitting on 25. Richie Mo'unga sitting on 35. And Lester Whainā-Nuku sitting on 27. Ateno Nana Satoro, though, on 34 in between these guys. So it's all of the most defenders beaten for these guys all going up against each other. Unfortunately, though, Ateno Nana Satoro is where the list ends for the Chiefs, up till maybe around 19 defenders beaten. Oh, no, sorry, 21. And that is Damian McKenzie, Malo brother, cheer for the Chiefs, as well, says Lima, watching from Samoa. So I do welcome you to this live stream. We are doing the preview for the match that is going to be taking place 7:05 p.m. tomorrow night. Only at this stage, 21 or so hours away. We are going to be starting a little bit earlier on to build it up a little bit more. I've got a few exciting little surprises in store for you guys. Hopefully it will make the viewing more enjoyable as well, since we aren't allowed to show the game, but we can talk about it. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing tomorrow night. Lineouts won, though, at the moment. Sam Whitelock has won the most, and they do have a very good lineout for the Crusaders. And I'm just looking, meters carry. Will Jordan, he wasn't playing every game early on, and he is leading 606 meters carried. Also, Lester Whainā-Nuku 600, and that is a whole 100 above anyone else. When you're looking for a Chiefs player, 430, Damian McKenzie, and that is just behind Richie Mo'unga, or just in front, sorry. And Richie Mo'unga sitting 6 points behind, or sorry, 6 meters behind, having a shocker once again. And on 424. We have also got Aiden Ross needs to lead that scrum for the Chiefs, says Hope Go. And yeah, it's one of those ones, penalties conceded. It's gonna be an interesting one. It is hard to beat the Crusaders at home. Definitely because of the fact last time these two sides played, the Chiefs ended up giving away 15 penalties. And they are actually the only side in the competition to have 1 or less yellow cards. They had the one of Brad Weber, and that was the one that was from a captain's challenge that went kind of badly, it's fair to say, for the Chiefs, because of the fact that it did get kind of reversed and Brad Weber ended up going to the bin. We have also got what will the first score? What will the first score in a minute, and who will score first? Which team? Says Penno Isaac. I can tell you what team probably has to score first, and that is the Chiefs. I don't think you can let the Crusaders be the team to dominate this game and kind of decide where it goes, because as soon as you give the Crusaders that control power, they can do a lot of damage. The likes of, if you end up giving away penalties in a scrum, they can make the most of that, possibly end up getting one of the Chiefs players sent to the bin, not milk, but like keep on continuously getting the penalties in a row, and then that will just lead to 3 points after 3 points after 3 points, and that is not what you want in a final. You want to try and keep the opposition as low in terms of those penalties that they are able to kick as possible. My score is going to be the Crusaders 23 and 31 to the Chiefs. So he is going for the Chiefs by 8. The Chiefs mana is running strong all around the world at the moment. Everyone wants to see the upset, and yeah, maybe it is a big possibility. But Shannon Frizzell actually is leading the offloads. First equal with Sever Reese, and then Will Jordan is sitting on 10. So the fact that Will Jordan didn't play all of the matches so far throughout the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition, and he is still right up there in pretty much all of the statistics, is very impressive. And speaking of impressive statistics, Damian McKenzie sitting on 98 points at the moment. Geordie Barrett sitting on 95. And then it is Richie Mo'unga sitting on 90. So that's the thing. 2 players here, Damian McKenzie and also Richie Mo'unga, could bring up the 100 points for each of them if they are able to have a decent game. Damian McKenzie only needs the 1 kick. Richie Mo'unga, perhaps he ends up kicking a couple conversions and also scoring himself a try. Could be a possibility. Crusaders start to hurt you on the back end of both halves. They do indeed. And I feel like it's one of those ones that the last 10 or 20 minutes is going to be a big grind for the Chiefs, because if the Crusaders are just ahead, they are going to be pushing you to your limit. They've got stamina for days. You look at their bench as well. In fact, we can look at their bench. I will bring it up for you guys to see as well. Brody McAllister, Tamati Williams, all 6'5" of the man. Ollie Jaeger, Dunshay, Sanders, Hall, McLeod, and Enor. Like, that is a backline that could easily pretty much all be starting this match. But then you look at the players who are starting, and it's just one of those ones that, yeah, you can't let the Crusaders get that early start. Or I feel like the Chiefs have got to somehow find a way of leading by about 10 and try and hang on to that. Because in the second half, we've seen throughout the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition, the Crusaders, they pour it on. And if you can't go into that deep water with them, like, you're going to end up in the end getting flooded with points against you. That was almost a bit of a pun / analogy that almost worked until I probably ruined it by saying about it. But hope you guys knew what I meant in that regard. And that's a team right there on the board that you can see right now next to me. That's a team that can win a title. But there's also this side here. And underneath the Kiwi Lads logo, it is Angus Tarvell, by the way, in the number 3 jersey. That's a side that won 5 in a row. They are going to be pushing themselves to their limit to try and keep up with this Crusaders side. And who knows, maybe the Clutch King, Damian McKenzie, might be able to have a say in the impact of this match. Or perhaps we get thrown off and maybe Damian McKenzie has a quiet game and the likes of maybe Leonard Brown or Bryn Gatlin can step up in that back line. The forward pack, Takiaho, making a lot of meters throughout the season for his side. Yes, Cody Taylor has got 7 tries, but Takiaho, I don't think he's got one yet. But he is one of those players that I feel like he would love to be able to score in a final. It's about pride for the Chiefs as well. 5 in a row, people are saying maybe the Blues should have been in that final because of the fact that they were both on 20 points. But 5 in a row speaks for itself. So the Chiefs are going to be there in that final against the Crusaders. And I'm going to be loving every minute of it. And I hope you guys are going to be too. And we're only 21 hours away from getting to see it happen. And I'm hyped, as you guys can probably tell. I haven't stopped talking for the past, how long have we been going? We've been going for 59 minutes on this live stream at the moment. That's the thing. I end up just rambling. And yeah, I do appreciate you guys all being here with me for it. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, we are going to be back tomorrow with our watch along live stream for the final. And that is going to be kicking off at about 7 p.m. is when we are going to be starting that. And we've got a couple surprises up our sleeve for that as well. And we have also got Crusaders 26 and 25 to the Crusaders. 26 to the Chiefs, 25 to the Crusaders. So an identical scoreline to the last time these two sides played, which was round 8 only a couple weeks ago. We have also got which team will take a lot of balls and which team will defend to save the score, says Penny Isaac. Yeah, defense is going to be key. We saw some great defense in the match between the Chiefs and the Blues for, I think it was about round 4 of Super Rugby Aotearoa. was it round 5? It might have been round 5. And we got to see the fact that those two sides, like their defense in that game was phenomenal. Like there were stages that they were up to about 15 phases and neither side were willing to break. And if the Chiefs can manage to do that in this match against the Crusaders, like the longer they can keep the Crusaders from scoring their first try, the better for them. Like I know it sounds like a very basic statement, but it's just one of those ones that unless they can stop the Crusaders from scoring early and maybe the Chiefs score one themselves, they're going to be fighting an upward battle throughout this match as well. Go Sader, says Jerry. Hopefully I'll say this right. Jansi van Rensburg. Hopefully I'll pronounce that right. Do let me know if I did get that wrong. So he is going for the Crusaders in this one. We have also got the Cabbage Patch. As said, I'm hoping for a repeat of that match in Fiji. I think it was where the Chiefs kicked the Satyrs' ass as well. So he is hoping for a big win for the Chiefs. And that's one thing that I think not too many people would be betting on for this one. So maybe there is a chance of that. We have seen in the past, like these two sides, they seem to be able to really get a lot of meters on the board when it comes to meters carried, when it comes to the defenders beaten. So you just need the way of the ball to kind of fall your way. Was that a sentence? Not quite. That's all right. We often don't speak sentences on this channel, it is fair to say. But yeah, if the fall of the ball is working in your favor, like you've got a chance of being able to rack up some quick points. Back-to-back tries for the Chiefs would be phenomenal for them in this one. But then saying that, someone or a team who are very good at getting back-to-back tries, Crusaders all day. Pretty much every match they play as well. Rhyming now as well on this channel. We've got, I wonder when will DMAC come in front in first 5 because Tia is at the bench as well, says Escaroy. And that is a good point. And I think it's all going to depend on how Bryn Gatland plays. If he is in form, Bryn Gatland, like he did have a match a couple of weeks ago that he actually played some very good rugby with his little chip in behind, almost scoring, and then he did score in one of those other matchups. And it's actually really interesting because I do like to keep an eye on the odds and everything to see kind of how everyone is seeing the matches going. And I saw that Bryn Gatland to score a try was about maybe, I want to say there were probably about 10 to 15 Crusaders players above him in terms of the odds of them scoring a try. Like I think the Crusaders, pretty much the whole 4-pack, other than maybe the props, everyone was saying was more likely to score a try than Bryn Gatland. So he would love to have a great performance here up against the Chiefs as well. And we have also got Chiefs W, Satyrs L as well, says Jesse was an outlaw. And we have got JZ has said, or 11 JZ, sorry, I'll also be back in Crusaders. I think they win. They will win by about 10 points. Just hope it's a good game though, yeah. And I think that is what everyone is hoping with the fact that, like, Super Rugby Aotearoa, I feel like we've been spoiled in terms of the rugby that we have got to see. So hopefully we do get to see a good game. But yeah, Crusaders by 10, certainly a possibility. And at the moment, I will mention the standings. They don't matter in terms of the finals matchup, of course, in terms of who will be going through. And that's the thing. Golden Point, we saw it twice in one round. Are we going to get to see it again in the final? That would actually be pretty awesome to see the final end with a Golden Point. The Crusaders finishing the season with 28. The Chiefs on 20, as well as the Blues being on 20. And that was because of the fact that the Chiefs, because they had one more win than the Crusaders, they moved through to the final, whereas the Blues have better points differential, I believe. And I saw that the Instagram accounts of the Chiefs and the Blues were kind of going backwards and forwards, having a bit of an argument about maybe who should be in that final. But the Chiefs, due to more wins, have made it there, and now they've got the chance to beat that Crusaders side if they can pull it off away from home. OrangeTheory Stadium, tough times for the Chiefs, but 5 in a row during the season. They feel good, and they are hoping that they will be able to do it. We have got, what is the time there, lads? Here is 8:51 at the moment. We are sitting on 10:10 p.m. So 10 past 10 on the 7th of, what month are we in now? Are we in May or is it no, we're in May, I believe. I was trying to work it out. I feel like this year has already flown by. So hopefully, the game tomorrow, normally in the first kind of 10 minutes or so, the matches just completely fly by. But hopefully it slows down for me in that regard. So we do get to see a lot of great rugby throughout that match. If the Satyrs start to just dominate, I reckon we'll all just start talking about how much we're looking forward to the Trans-Tasman games, says Tomo Nelson as well. And yeah, it's going to be one of those ones. Crusaders, if they score the first try, it's a hard one for the Chiefs, I'll be honest. It's just one of those ones that if they can't quite get it right early, the Crusaders will punish them. But if the Chiefs can do what they did last time at OrangeTheory Stadium, score a try very early, that was Damian McKenzie. Although it was actually, it was unfortunate that that was almost the only try that the Chiefs got till very late in the match as well. We have got Hay from 2. Welcome to the live stream, mate. We have got May Yes as well from November. Yeah, I'm losing track of my months at the moment. Like, this year has flown by. Like, I remember not too long ago, it was January, and I was like, oh, we've still got a month or two till Super Rugby Aotearoa, and now it's here. Now it's the final as well. Super Rugby Trans-Tasman's here already. I remember about 3 or 4 months ago, that was just a thing. That was a rumor. Now it is almost reality, and we are going to get to see some very good rugby in that as well. We have got Dan Feta to watch this, so I know what's happening. That is Isaac as well, and he is part of the surprise that I was talking about for the live stream tomorrow. We got something special planned. Hopefully, it all goes smoothly as well. I might actually test something on this live stream near the end to see if it will work in terms of the single format, to see whether or not it will behave itself. We have got for Hosier. He has said in the chat, 32 Crusaders, 25 to the Chiefs. So a 5-point game in that regard. And that would be a very high scoring good one as well. Hopefully we do get to see a lot of tries. Like, that is one thing I'm hoping, because of the fact these games can either be very low scoring, close ones, or everyone can just score a whole heap of tries. Maybe 10 tries. That would be well and truly a treat for us to watch as well. Will there be a final in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman? There will indeed. It will be, everyone plays each other in the round robin. So the New Zealand sides play every Australian side and vice versa. And then from there, after the 5 rounds, it is the team that is leading in first place will have the home final, and the team who is in second will actually end up playing that team, whether it is a New Zealand side or an Australian side. The final could be Crusaders versus Chiefs or Reds versus Brumbies. It can be 2 sides. Doesn't matter of the country as well. And who is better, Bodie or Richie? I did actually, sorry, I missed that a little bit earlier on as well. Or Bodie or Richie. Bowden Barrett doing well for himself in Japan at the moment. Richie Moanga doing pretty decently in Super Rugby Aotearoa as well. And I feel like it's a hard one because they've both got their individual skills that they are very talented at. And I feel like it's an argument that I think a lot of people get quite heated about in terms of who is better. All I'm going to say is I know that people are talking about the fact that Bowden Barrett wants to come back and get straight back into that number 10 jersey for Super Rugby Aotearoa, for the All Blacks. But I feel like maybe he'll have to have a couple games off the bench, maybe just for the sake of playing the inform Moanga. If he is informed, though, we have still got Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, so we have to wait and see in that regard. In Fiji, it's May 7th as well, said Pene, and we have got Crazy NZ with the dabbing emoji and the peace emoji as well. And we have also got would be funny if it ends up being Crusaders versus Chiefs in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. It would be. I feel like it's something that's not completely out of the question, though, because of the fact that if the Chiefs, I'm not saying it will happen, of course. Don't get too mad at me, Crusader supporters. But if the Chiefs win Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021, like, that wave of momentum could take them all the way to the final with Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. Their first game's up against the Western Force, but then they love playing a big game as well. They bet the Reds in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, the undefeated Reds, who are going to be putting it on the line up against the Brumbies tomorrow for Super Rugby AU as well. It's going to be, maybe that would carry them all the way to the final. But the Crusaders, I feel like everyone's saying, are almost a given in that final of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, but they've got 2 big games straight away. They have got the Brumbies in the first match, then the Reds in the second, and then from there I think they will build their momentum towards the final if they have got those 2 games under their belt as well. But Crusaders versus Reds could go either way because they are 2 very strong sides in their individual competitions, top of the table, both of them, and they will be clashing in the second round as well. We have got, since Goodhue is injured, who do you think will fill his role in the AB, says 2. Or tell you what, David Arveli's filling it pretty nicely for the Crusaders as well. So I feel like, he's in the question. Lau Mape, of course, will have his hand up for that role. Maybe you go with, Quinton Poire is a player who I feel could have possibly made the All Blacks if he hadn't ended up getting injured. He's a tackling machine runs hard at the line, and just doesn't seem to have any quid in him, which I feel like is exactly what you want. I do also see, are you able to put the rugby teams back up? I will do that very quickly for you. So that is the Crusaders lineup we will start with. But yeah, I feel like we're blessed with the amount of talent that we've got for that back line. It's just trying to find that right combination to be able to work and, be able to end up getting the ABs a few wins. They are going to be playing the Pacific Island teams. I think it's Samoa and Tonga, if I'm not wrong, are going to be their competition. That is instead of Italy, which I feel like it's going to be a bit more of a competition for them, which is a good sign because we will want to have a few good games under our belt. I know the World Cup's about 800 and something days away, but it's going to come around pretty quick as well. What about Rieko Ioane says too? And of course, yeah, number 13, I was just thinking 12s, wasn't I? But number 13, you've got Rieko Ioane. You've got Lester Fainanuku, who's been playing pretty decent as well. But yeah, there's a lot of good players throughout Super Rugby Aotearoa teams. Who's number 13 for the Hurricanes? They haven't really used Vince Ussler this year, which is a bit of a shame. I do see that they signed a new lock, though. Dominic Bird, I think it is, if I'm not wrong, which was kind of surprising because they have got quite a few good players just hiding that haven't actually had a chance throughout the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. And hopefully they will get to use them throughout Super Rugby Trans-Tasman as well. Backing for the Chiefs and Moana Pacifica this year as well, says Escaroy. Of course, it is going to be the situation of Super Rugby becoming 12 teams, the New Zealand sides, the Australian sides, Fiji Drua, and Moana Pacifica. That's going to be pretty exciting. Going to be some good rugby played between those two sides as well, or those 12 sides, I should say. And we have also got, I think people forget what number you put on their jersey. You can always start more than one fullback and have them switch roles within the back three during the game, says Tom Nelson. Yeah. And I feel like that's one of those things. Players in our days, they don't really, like some of them still have their specialty positions. But the likes of Will Jordan, number 15, perfect example for the Crusaders here. He's playing 15, but he has been known to slot into that right wing position occasionally, and he does do very well there. So it's one of those ones, the players are becoming more and more, like they're able to adapt into that back line when they are needed. It's like the fact that McKenzie, he doesn't normally play 10 too much, but he's at fullback, but he can move into that number 10 role if he does need to, if there was an injury of some sort, possibly to bring Gatlin. We have got Ray Mantis, he said good luck Chiefs as well. And we have got AU says AU sides for Hope Goat. Unfortunately, I don't think I actually ended up getting their side up, but I could read it out to you if you are keen. I have got it over here. I've got it on a sheet. I feel like it's less professional, but I have got the sides written down here that I can read through in a very short moment. We have also got, I think that they might do is maybe mix up the midfield in the test against Fiji and Italy, and then whatever midfield is better, they will go with them. And yeah, I feel like it's just about finding out whether or not these sides kind of click together, because we have seen you can have all the talent in the world, but if they can't kind of link up, it's one of those ones that unfortunately you end up in the predicament of just not quite being able to use your backline too flashly. Catch you in the live tomorrow, lad. Got to run, see you as well, says Jesse. See you later, mate. And it will be good to see you tomorrow as well for the final 7:05 p.m. kickoff. For anyone who is just tuning in now, we are waiting for the kickoff to happen in only around 20-something hours time. I think we're 21 at this stage. And yeah, the Queensland Reds, I will read through them first if you guys are keen. It is going to be, that's a hard name. The number one I always struggle with. Fotuaka. I feel like I shouldn't have started with the Reds. I realized I can't really pronounce that name very well. Let's go Chiefs, says Neville Singh as well. And yeah, at the moment, they are going to be loving that support for the Chiefs. They've never had so much support over the last few years. I think after they lost all their games last year, everyone had almost given up on them. But they are back in the final this year, and they are a very dangerous side. So I will skip that number one. I feel like you guys who know the Reds will know who I was talking about in that regard. Then number 2, Paianga Mosa, 3 Tupou. And then it's going to be 4 Ryan Smith, Salakai Lotto number 5, Scott Young 6, Fraser McWright number 7, Harry Wilson, McDermott, O'Connor, Campbell, Stewart, Fluke, Pattaya, and Hegarty. That is the lineup of the Queensland Reds. And then for the Brumbies, it is going to be Co, Lonergan, Alatoa, Swain, Neville, Frost, Scott, Valentini, White, Lolicio, Wright, Simone, also Iketal, Muirhead, and Banks. And we have got not Geordie at 14 in the chat. We have got one of the ABs will have the audacity to put Moanga at 10 with Jordan at 11. And Geordie at 14, Mackenzie at 15, and Bowden on the bench, says Tomo Nelson. It's a hard one because I feel like the hardest part of that is like Geordie Barrett didn't have a terrible Tri Nations on that right wing. So in the back of the selectors' minds, maybe they'll go, yeah, we'll have him there once again. But then they've got the likes of Sever Reese, who is kind of waiting in the wings, who didn't get much game time, who could well and truly fill into that number 14 role. Like, he's been dangerous throughout the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition as well. So it's going to be hard for them to select. But I think against the Pacific Island teams, they may go with a little bit of the experimental side, like Tu said a little bit earlier on. Lol, it would be funny if the point will be three Crusaders and 3 Chiefs. I hope it's a little bit higher scoring than that in this matchup. Hopefully, tell you what, I would accept 8 or more tries in this one, but I feel like because it's the final, it's not quite going to happen that way. We've also got, yes, I made it into the starting lineup. You did indeed, Neville. Of course, in the number 5 jersey, once again, able to make it into the Brumbies starting lineup, and they will be hoping to pull off the upset. So far this season, the Queensland Reds have been able to beat them in both appearances, and they've both been extremely close games. And the Super Rugby Aotearoa, Super Rugby AU final last year was also a very close game between those two sides. It's just one of those ones. The combination of those two sides playing just seems to bring just great rugby, and it will build a lot more hype for Super Rugby AU as well when we do come to that next week. Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. Get them my AUs, my Aotearoas, and my Trans-Tasmans all mixed up at the moment. We've also got Collective World in the chat, has said hello. Welcome to the live stream, mate. And we have got Sean in the chat, has said let's go Crusaders, with a whole heap of red and black love hearts. Yes, the favourites in this match, the Crusaders, taking on the Chiefs. Each side has been able to win one match, one each in this season, and we are going to get to see it in the final once again. We have got also, you should do a final but on Rugby Challenge 4, says Hope Goat. Believe it or not, I have actually filmed it, but I just haven't quite had a chance to edit it yet. I'll probably end up editing it tonight alongside hopefully everything else I do need to get done for this one, because like I said, we've got a couple surprises coming for the live stream tomorrow, and one of them does involve quite a bit of work, so I am going to have to try and get that to work out with a couple animations and whatnot. We have got Geordie has to have a spot for that boot. He's basically carried us games this season, and he's a damn fine carrier. Should be a 12 in a pinch too, said the Cabbage Patch. And yeah, Geordie Barrett, like 30 points in one game and it was actually against the Chiefs, I believe. Or was it against the Highlanders? It might have been against the Highlanders, but yeah, 30 points individually in a match is just crazy. Like Richie Moanga, I think, had about 28, and Geordie Barrett was able to overtake him. And I'm interested to see how the Hurricanes do in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. First game is going to be up against the Waratahs, a side who weren't able to get a win in Super Rugby AU. And it's one of those ones, looking at that, you'd think the Hurricanes would be able to win it easily, but it's also that predicament of, for some reason, New Zealand versus Australia just brings like everyone's game to the next level, because they haven't been able to play each other for about probably around 16 months at this stage. So they want to prove that they are the better side of the Trans-Tasman, and that is why we are going to get to see some very exciting rugby between them. 11J has said that I think Bowden should be definitely covered for 10 from the bench. He hasn't really played at 20 for the ABs in a while, so a few games on the bench at 10 for 15 to 20 minutes to get him used to it again. Yeah, and it's a different kind of style of rugby in Japan. It is becoming more and more physical with all of the international players going over there, but it's kind of, normally it's what the kind of slightly older players, the likes of Matt Todd, Kieran Reid and whatnot, kind of do near the back end of their careers, whereas Bowden is still in his prime at this stage, still got a lot of years under his belt. So, yeah, I feel like just slowly edging him back into the competition. Maybe he gets to play off the bench for those games against the Pacific Islands. The Pacific Island teams, and then from there, you can look at what you do from there in terms of his position as well. Who's better, Geordie or Damian McKenzie, says Ben Isaac. That is a hard one. That is a very hard one, because they both have they're just both great players. Like Damian McKenzie, the clutch king, he can kick under pressure all day, every day. Also, very good tackling style and great at finding gaps in the back line and exploiting that against the other side. Then you've got Geordie Barrett, who's got the height advantage, got the long boot, got the aerial ability as well. Strong with ball in hand, big man, and got a lot of speed as well. So it's hard because they both have very good styles of rugby. They're just both a little bit different, which is why it is hard to try and pick a favourite out of those two. We have also got, hey mate, how do you use Filmora? As well, says why not rugby? As in like how do you edit on it, or as in because that is what we use for our videos. Normally I just have the footage and then the voiceover, and then we kind of go from there. But yeah, we have got also why not rugby. Hey mate, says Penny Isaac, and also hello mate from why not rugby. But yeah, it is going to be an exciting matchup between these two sides. How long have I been chatting for? An hour and 20 minutes. I just end up rambling about these games, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this live stream as well. Crusaders versus Chiefs tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. kickoff. Be sure not to miss it. Yes, how do you edit on it? As I will, I guess just, you just start with the footage of the gameplay on Rugby Challenge, and then we have our voiceover that we normally add. Also, if we are doing a different video in terms of face cam, we add that on top, sync it all up, and then just kind of chop it and change it, and then do our zooms and whatnot. It takes a bit of effort, I will say. We've got the gaming channel has been starting up very recently, which is called the Kiwi Lads Gaming. It's very new, and there aren't many videos on there yet, but I will quickly get that link for you guys who do want to subscribe. It is sitting on 15 subscribers. Would be awesome. If you guys do want to check it out, I will put it in the chat for you guys as well, so you guys can subscribe to the Kiwi Lads Gaming. It is at the moment being edited by George, so be sure to go over there, show him some love. And we have also got, thanks for your time. Take care. Have a good evening, said 11J said. You too, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, hopefully we will get to see you tomorrow for the final as well between the Crusaders and the Chiefs. We have got, who do you think will win, says Penny Isaac, to why not rugby? But yeah, nonetheless, I will quickly, one more time, run through the lineups for you guys as well. George Bauer, Cody Taylor, Ala Tsawa. Then you look at Scott Barrett and Sam Whitelock as the lock pairing. Very experienced, very talented, and we'll be hoping to have a bit of an impact there as well. Blackadder, Havili, and also Cullen Grace make up the loose forwards. Drummond at 9, Mwanga at 10. Mwanga Magic. Will it be running wild at OrangeTheory Stadium? Then we've got David Havili and Lester Whainanoku in the centres. George Bridge, Sever Reese on the wings, and the talent machine Will Jordan at number 15. I'm not sure whether or not anyone's ever called him the talent machine. Don't know whether that will stick, I'll be honest, but it is what I just did, so I guess we will roll with it. Then for the Chiefs, underneath the Kiwi Lads logo, it is Angus Tava back in the number 3 jersey. Ross and also Takiaho are going to make up the front row. Then you've got Tupavai, Mitchell Brown moving into the number 5 jersey. Bit of a change there, normally at 6, but at 6 it is going to be Peter Gasawakola. Played very well in the match against the Blues, just subbed, says Hanchi Banori. Hopefully I've pronounced that right. Do let me know if I have got it wrong. But then there is Lachlan Boshier at 7. Luke Jacobson back in the starting lineup. He is going to be at 8. Then it's Brad Weber at 9. Gatland at 10. Nankerville and Leonard Brown make up the centre. Strong runners of the ball, those two. Great at finding the gaps. Alex Nankerville, in the match that he played, his first match at number 12, he was willing to play crash ball, and I feel like that's something you got to do in terms of the fact that you got to play physical against this Crusader side. You can't let them dominate you, or else you're in trouble, such as the last time that these two sides ended up playing at OrangeTheory Stadium, 39 to the Crusaders, 17 to the Chiefs. Then for the wings, it is Athena Nana Satoro, also Jonah Lowe on the other side in the number 14 jersey. Then Damian McKenzie, the clutch king. D-Mac is going to be at number 15. We've got Johnny Blaze in the chat as well. Welcome to the live stream, mate. And it did seem like you were back in the Chiefs there. And also, Johnny, I did end up sending you an email, by the way. I'm not sure whether you would have received it or not. It was at about 3:30 a.m. last night. 21 more hours till the Chiefs start spanking the Satyrs as well. He is going for them big time. Johnny Blaze got the Chiefs mana going. And it is going to be an exciting contest. Then we look at the benches. Crusaders, McAllister, Williams, Ollie Jaeger. Then you got Dunshay, Sanders, Hall, Dallas McLeod, and also Braden Enor back from injury, back on the bench for the Crusaders. Then you've got the Chiefs, Bradley Slater, Norris, Mafaleo. Also, Akoi is going to be starting on the bench. A little bit of a surprise there, definitely, because in the number 5 jersey, it is going to be Mitchell Brown, who is more dominantly a loose forward as well. Then you've got Zane Capelli, played brilliantly in the match. I just read the chat as well. If no mum has said, we have to remind my son not to bug me during the game. Yeah, it's one of those ones. You want that 2 hours to be able to really take in the finals atmosphere. Like, I feel like the way I talk about this game as well, I could probably start a live stream at about 6 p.m. tomorrow and still be talking when we get to kickoff. But I think I'll start at about 5 or 10 minutes beforehand, just to save you guys an hour of me just well and truly rambling on. But yeah, Zane Capelli playing well, so he is in the number 20 jersey. Then it is going to be Tetara Tahureorangi at number 21. Rameka Poihipi making his appearance in the number 22 jersey. And then Chase Tiatia, who has come off the bench before. He did it against his Hurricanes side, and he was able to score a try late in a match as well. We have also got, haven't checked it, mate. I will do. Cheers, bro. As well, says Johnny Blaze. And damn kids, send them all to bed early. Let the lads watch the rugby, says Johnny Blaze. And also Zane Capelli to smash over Scooter Barrett as well. And yeah, he's one of those players, Zane Capelli, like the momentum he would have gotten from that last game. Yes, the Chiefs lost, but he got some good game time throughout that match. And people are talking about him now. They're saying that he is an exciting prospect. Someone else who I felt played very well for someone who was on debut, Tom Florence. He seemed like he was making a lot of tackles. I think he made about 11 in the time that he was out there. A couple of turnovers as well. Like, he was very impressive. So the Chiefs, they've got a lot of young talent that over the next few years will be making their way into that starting lineup and the reserves, and maybe a bit of it in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman as well. But yeah, I have been talking for an hour and 26 minutes at the moment about this game of rugby. I thought that the one that I did against the Crusaders and the Blues was a long one, but this one, we're about half an hour shorter than that, but this one has still been a relatively long live stream. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed me talking about the game that is going to be taking place tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. And we hardly even mentioned the game that's happening after it. Super Rugby AU. It's going to be the Reds versus the Brumbies. A lot of momentum to be had throughout these matches heading into Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, which is going to be starting up the week after as well. The Chiefs missed Tupaia, says Isaac. And yeah, that is a fair point because of the fact that the last time these two sides played at OrangeTheory Stadium, you look at the numbers of tackles for the Chiefs. Kane had 20, Sam Kane out with an injury. Then it was Tupaia out with an injury. He had 17 in that match. Then it's another one, Tupa Vai, 13. He has been all right throughout the season, no injuries yet. Then you've got Jacobson, 13, had an injury. So I'm not sure how strong he will be, but he had 13 tackles as well. And we have got tomorrow night. It's on like Donkey Kong, says Johnny Blaze. And yeah, the Chiefs versus Crusaders. It's going to be an exciting matchup because of the fact that both of these sides are going to want that Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021 title. The Crusaders, defending champs, they will be wanting to hang on to it. The Chiefs, 5 in a row coming into this match, other than the loss to the Blues. Like 5 in a row throughout the season was what got them to the final, and maybe that momentum will be able to carry them all the way over the line to be able to win this match against the Chiefs. And Alfred Edwards has put 28 to the Chiefs, 27 to the Crusaders. Maybe the last-minute penalty, and Damian McKenzie does end up slotting it over. Ryan Adams has put who you going for. Luckily for me, I'm pretty impartial when it comes to these two sides. I live closer to Canterbury, but I have got a Chiefs shirt that was sent to me by one of you guys. So I've got a leg each way, I guess you could say, in terms of who I will be going for in this match. But yeah, it should be a very exciting one tomorrow night as well. Manu Vatuvai selling his dodgy wares as well, said Johnny Blaze. He has been in the news a little bit lately. I think I broke my pen, which I'm quite sad about because it is a Mitre 10 pen, which was paying homage to the Mitre 10 Cup, but I think it's actually broken because the lid doesn't screw back on anymore. I'm going to have to get a new pen for the final. I've had this pen throughout the whole time that the channel has been pretty much running. So I feel like it's lasted pretty well, but now it will be time to possibly get a new one because that's not screwing back on. Unfortunately, we've got this Chiefs all day, says Isaac as well. Crusaders leading by 32-30 at 77 minutes, 79 minutes. Damien or Chiefs get a penalty, and it will be right out in front for D-Mac to kick it over, says Nov Mum. Perhaps that is the case. And that's the thing. I feel like the last thing people would be expecting is for Damian McKenzie to miss a kick in this match. I feel like he's one of those ones that has been just completely solid throughout this whole season. And yeah, the last thing you want is for the fact of him to miss a kick in this final. Definitely in the later stages, rip the pen, or RIP the pen as well. Said Johnny Blaze, I've shed a tear for the pen. I'm quite sad about it. I've been trying to screw it around for the past like 5 minutes trying to fix it. But unfortunately, I don't know what's gone wrong. It just doesn't seem to want to screw back in. And it means that, yeah, I'm going to have to get a new pen, sadly. Please wear the Chiefs jersey on the final, please, says Penny Isaac. Of course, it has had quite a bit of luck, to be fair. We have got, come on, Chiefs, just go full cheeky and kick 7 drop goals or something. As well, said Mr. 8 Ball. Let's all gamble our mortgages on the Chiefs to waste the status, said Johnny Blaze. I mean, they're paying quite well at the moment, I believe, for the odds, but don't know whether it's worth putting the whole house on in that regard. But something I will be doing, we've actually got a couple surprises for the live stream that is happening tomorrow night. I won't spoil too much, but yeah, the Chiefs kit, it will be somewhere on the live stream, and you guys will just have to wait and see where that is going to be. But yeah, nonetheless, I think we're getting close to the end of this live stream. So what I might actually do, if you guys don't mind who are here, I am going to test something, and I do need your help for it, because I want to test whether or not I can go full screen with just myself, because for some reason, anytime I try that, it seems to just lag very badly. So I will quickly, I'll just do this quickly, testing, and I will send this across the bottom of the screen when I am in a singular. There we go, and we will go like that. Testing, very official right there, and we will go into the solo layout. Now, something I need you guys' help with is whether or not this is going to keep on running smoothly if I do have this testing bar. So do let me know if it ends up lagging at all over the next kind of minute or so, if that is all right, just so that I can work out whether or not, oh, I like this a lot, says Johnny Blaze as well. Yeah, it's a little bit of something that you guys get to do that is outside of the actual live stream. It's kind of a bit of an interactive type arrangement, but hopefully it does run smoothly and the frame rate doesn't drop too much. But I think it already has, unfortunately, by the looks of it. And I think I have frozen, if I'm not wrong. So, unfortunately, I think it might. Okay, we have what's got. It would be funny if you wear Chiefs and Sadist half jerseys, says Penny Isaac, and lagging now, unfortunately, right. What if I put another testing bar here? Does it still lag? Hopefully you guys can still hear me all right while it is lagging up a storm. But if I add the second bar, is it still lagging badly? I feel like this is a massive fail in regards of, but I am glad that I tested it now rather than on live stream tomorrow. So I think it is going to be lagging badly by the looks of that. Got lag now. Yep, you froze a bit as well in the chat. Right. Okay, so what we have to do is we are going to have to, can hear you, but you are lagging. And I feel like as soon as I go back to split screen, I think I'm going to have to get in contact with them, because it's weird. Because as soon as I go back to sharing a screen, it goes right. Like, you'd think sharing a screen would actually be more difficult for it to like process than, yeah, just a little board across the bottom. So yeah, I will have to get in contact with them about that, and hopefully I can get it working for the final that is going to be taking place tomorrow. But I do thank you guys very much for helping me out with that, so that I don't embarrass myself tomorrow trying to do it on live stream. What if I do something here? One moment, I am going to test one more thing, and then it's going to be in here, and we are going to go down or up. I'm not too sure. What if I go like this? One more test, if you guys don't mind, while we are about to finish this live stream as well. I'm going to change it, and I am going to change the type of, what if it's only a little one? Is that on the screen at the moment? I can't actually tell. What if it's just a little box in the bottom corner? We are going to go back to the well and truly lagging. I feel like the first human to discover fire. I'm scratching my head. I have no idea what's happening right now. If it makes you feel better, Johnny, neither do I, to be fair. Right. So it seems to not be lagging at the moment. So I'm going to split the screen again. We're going back to fully, yes, see that, as well, says Nov Mum. Right. So I've gone back to just fully me. Hopefully, we haven't started lagging up a storm yet. We will have to wait and see. Because I made the switch, it might lag just that little bit. But from there, are we all right? Are we running smoothly? We might be. It might actually be not going too bad at the moment, hopefully. Is it looking good? We might actually almost be all right here. I think this is going to work. Right, this might be how we do it for the live stream tomorrow. Or is it lagging? Do let me know. How smoothly is she running at the moment? I think it's still dropping frames, which isn't ideal. Seems okay, says Nov Mum as well. Seems pretty good, says Johnny Blaze. Uh-oh. I think we jinxed it. I think it completely froze there. Right. I'm going to have to go back to the split screen now, lagging as well. I feel like we jinxed it big time, didn't we? We thought that it was going to work, and then it was like, yeah, nah. Right. Okay. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a contact and see if I can get that figured out for the live stream that is going to be happening tomorrow night, because I would love to have it full screen as well. I feel like that would add a little bit more excitement, maybe have the scoreboard down the bottom instead. But nonetheless, I think that is going to be almost the end of this live stream. I do thank you all very much for helping me out for that, and also for tuning in throughout this one. If you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like as well. We are going to be back. Please would you show the game tomorrow, says Benno Isaac. Unfortunately, that would probably be one of our shortest live streams on the channel, because like as soon as you even show a snippet of footage, the stream just gets wiped, and then we would be unable to live stream for 3 months. I drank a liter of coffee this morning at 4 a.m. and now plastering my kitchen ceiling at 4 a.m. as well. And started plastering my kitchen ceiling at 4 a.m. Geez, that's an effort and a half, Johnny Plays. I thought I was up late being around that 4 a.m. mark, but that was when you were just starting by the sounds of it. But yeah, I think hopefully we will be able to get that sorted so that it is not lagging tomorrow. Cheers, brother. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll check your emails now. Cheers, bro, as well, says Johnny Glaze. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Appreciate you all being here, and we will see you all tomorrow for the Super Rugby Aotearoa final between the Crusaders and the Chiefs. See you all later.